Okay, so good morning again to all of you. Now I think we should start, huh? Isn't it? So today we'll discuss this stump analysis, and as we all know that what is stump analysis, most of you have already know the meaning of a stump. So we'll discuss this topic in detail itself, how the stump analysis can be done. Is it okay? So let's start with this definition. What is this definition of stump analysis? But before going that, we must know what is stump, right? As you all know that we have all studied, is a very general term that we all know that what is stump. Stump means uh, when we have a tree, right, and when tree has been felled from this particular part, the small portion, this is a small portion where the root is still attached to the ground itself, right? So that small portion is called a stump. This is a simple meaning, you all know this is a stump, isn't it? So this is the whole tree. So for example, this image you just look at here. So for example, you are felling the tree from some particular part. So this is a small portion, see, this is still the roots is attached, and that small portion is called a stump, right? So we'll discuss how to analyze the cross section of this stump, right? I hope you all understand what is stump. Most of you have already studied that several times. We have discussed this term stump, but still it is in context. I have discussed you what is stump first. So I hope you all have understand that what is stump. Fine. So now try to understand this definition of a stump analysis. What the things you have to do in a stump analysis that we need to understand, right? So while we doing this stump analysis, there are certain restrictions also we need to understand. So this stump analysis, I mean, it is one kind of exercise. What the exercise you are doing? It is one kind of exercise that you are analyzing the stump cross section. Stump cross section, right? Stump cross section means if this is stump, right, so this is cross section. So we are analyzing the cross section, and we are measuring the annual rings here. We are measuring annual rings. Why we are measuring annual rings? So the purpose for measuring annual rings to know the diameter and basal growth, and to establish the relation between age and diameter. Through second slide, I hope you all have seen. Okay, is it clear? Have you get that what is stump, right? Again, listen carefully. What is stump analysis? All of us just try to understand again. So it is an exercise to analyze the stump cross section and measuring the annual rings, to know the diameter and basal area growth, and to determine the age diameter relationship. Is it clear? So that is the simple definition of stump analysis. So here you can easily understand that in the definition the term annual rings has been there. So this stump analysis is restricted to only those trees which have a distinct annual rings. Is it clear? If there is no annual rings, there is no stump analysis as per the definition that has to be given here. Is it clear? Is it clear to all of you the definition? I understand that. Or is there any question from this definition? Is it clear now? It's not so difficult to understand. See here what you have to do, since when you are leaving some stump here, right, so this is the cross section. We need to analyze the cross section. It means all these annual rings to be counted, and you know the purpose of this annual ring, to know the diameter. Obviously we can measure the diameter here, and also we know the basal area growth, and we are able to establish the relationship between age and diameter here. And since the annual rings is attached to it, so only those species has to be there which has a distinct annual ring. In that species we can perform this stump analysis, right? I hope concept is clear to all of you now. Now go for this purpose. Why you should do that? What is the purpose of this? What is the basic purpose? So the definition suggests that we have to count the annual rings. So annual rings, and in the STEM analysis class I have already told you, this rings will provide you lots of historical data, right? Lots of historical data. So through this stump analysis also you are able to get some past history of that region also, that tree also, that climate also there. Is it clear? And not for that, and understanding this past history of all this climate and everything, and apart from that we also get the past history of diameter and basal area growth of tree. Is it clear? And when we understand this relation, the past history of diameter and basal area growth of tree, then we can generalize all this information. Whatever the past information we are getting, that we can generalize the whole information for other standing trees. What are the standing trees that is available there of same species and with the same site quality, Is it clear? And how you can do that? So obviously we told that in the definition we are going to making a relation, age diameter relationship has to be drawn there, isn't it? So since we are able to do the age diameter relationship, so we can generalize this concept for other standing trees, but the condition should be there. What the condition that need to be followed here? The condition is in the same species and same site quality need to be followed. Is it clear? Have you get that? So this is the thing that you are getting inside the tree, and other factors also you are able to understand through this stump analysis. What the other factors? So as I told you, flood, lopping, or if any kind of defoliation is there, or if flood, drought condition, climatic conditions also you are able to gather through the analysis of stump there. Have you get this? Have you understand this purpose of stump analysis? Is it clear to all of you? Is there any question from that? See, the simple purpose is to gather information of past history. So what the information? By obviously we will go able to count this annual rings. So through the counting of annual rings, we are able to understand the basal area growth of tree, isn't it? And also we are able to get the diameter growth there. So past history has to be understand. This is the one thing that was related to the tree. And second, as I told you, also we are able to understand the external factor. External factor means flood, if there is, what kind of season is there, what kind of climate is there, also we are able to understand through this stump analysis. I hope the thing is clear. Is there any question up to these two points that I have discussed? I have discussed the definition part, I have discussed the purpose of stump analysis. So if you have any kind of question, you people can ask, then we'll discuss something more in this. Okay, so all the students are writing, okay, the concept is clear. Fine. So let's move to the next slide. So these are the basic instrument that is required whenever you are going to the field to conducting all this kind of stump analysis. We need this basic instruments. This instrument is required. What the instrument we need? A measuring tape, a folding 60 centimeter rule, a chisel, a mallet, bottle of water, a strong pocket knife, an axe, a book of printed form, notebook, set of graph papers, pencil, eraser, and other drawing instruments. So one by one I will show you the image of that things also there. So just look at here. So measuring tape, you all know that this is measuring tape, and this is folding 60 centimeter rule, right? The folding can be from 20 centimeter. And here one thing also you have to take care, okay, whenever you are getting this rule, it must have a millimeter scale also. Is it clear? They are the things that we need to understand here. At least one edge should be graduated to millimeter scale. Fine. These things you have to keep in mind. Then we have this chisel. This is chisel and this is mallet. So we also need this chisel and mallet. And the purpose why we need that, so that we are able to smooth the stump surface. If we have this chisel mallet instrument, we are able to smooth the stump surface, right? So that's why you need this instrument also here. Then obviously bottle of water, we all know that. right? And why we need bottle of water, so you just try to understand here. Bottle of water also required, and not only bottle of water, it has to be filled with water also, because sometimes what happen, the rings are indistinct. You are able to, when you are looking on the system panel, some of the rings you are unable to make a distinction there, so you have to pour some amount of water on that, and then after that the things will be clear, right? Things will be immediate, the things will be clear. And the concept is very simple. You all know that we have some porous part when the ring has been formed there, and when you have a trace, some porous part is there. So when you're going to pour some water, water has to be absorbed, and suddenly all this the rings will be clearly shown on the stump surface. Is it clear? That's why we need a bottle of water. It has to serve many purpose. First, it is when you are doing in the field, obviously we need water to for our purpose, also for human purpose, and the other purpose also there. Okay, when rings are indistinct, then you just pour some amount of water there, and then all the and that is going to help you show up all those rings there. Is it clear? And then we have this strong pocket knife. The purpose of using this instrument is to find the thickness of bark. By using this knife, you are able to remove some portion of bark there, and then you can measure the bark. Is it clear? Up to this point, all this concept is clear, na? Or is there any question? Fine. So no question from anyone. Now go for the X. Then you also need this instrument X. Why need a X there? So sometimes what happened, as you see that you have a tree part of there may be buttresses, you are able to, right, buttresses, something like that, the bulging at the base of the tree, certain kind of bulging structure. So using this X, you are able to trim the buttresses part. Is it clear? Right. You have seen, we have a tree, and suddenly this base part is bit bulging. So using that X, we can trim the buttresses. I hope you have understand that the use of all those basic instruments. Is there any question? Why we need all these instruments to work on the field? Every instrument is their own function. So up to this point, if you people have to ask something, if any slide you are unable to understand, you can ask. You have a 30 seconds. Okay, fine. So again, the no question I have seen anywhere. Now move to this. Apart from that, the other things that we required obviously are notebook, a pen, paper, pencil, and other drawing instrument. You will see that this is a drawing sheet. These are the drawing instrument. We have a pencil, we have a eraser, we have a pen, we have a notebook. These things also required in the field itself, right? So these are the basic instrument that is required, where we have to record the data. Right, these instruments are required there to record the data. Then you have to write all this data in certain printed forms, right? Certain general forms has been designed, and then you have to fill all the data that we are collecting while analyzing this stump. Then we have to incorporate all this data in those forms there, right? So one by one I like to show you all those forms, right? We also need graph papers, right? Because I told you we have to establish the age diameter relationship, we have to study the taper relation. So we can use this graph paper, and obviously some smooth curve we are able to draw by using X and Y. We have X and Y axis. We all know that, you all know how to use the graph paper, and using this graph paper we are able to draw the curve while whatever the data we have collected on the field itself, right? And then we are using the forms. Just look at here, this is stump analysis form number 1, where all this general information, as I discussed with you in this STEM analysis, the same thing can be written over here, right? Same thing. Because why I'm telling that, because when you're going to fail the stem, so if a stem will be there, so obviously you are also able to get the stump there in that particular place, right? Isn't it? It's a simple, it's a general thing. Okay, when you are going to fail any tree, so we are getting the stem also, we are getting the stump also. So we have to write the all information there. Well, only one thing has to be changed. This is stump height, right? In the stem we are writing the stem height. Here we are writing the stump height. Is it clear? Then we have to calculate total number of rings, girth under bark. You just look at here. Then calculate average diameter at a stump and average radius at a stump. So all these are the general information that need to be written over there. Name of division, name of range, compartment number, tree species, latitude, longitude, tree number, and all this basic information has to be written in this form itself. Then move at the next form. Then you have to write this information, successive decades radius information. ठीक है? Have a look at there, radius at successive decades. Length of radius basically R10. After 10 years, what is the length of radius? 20, 30, 40. Then you have to calculate this average diameter here. Just look at here. Is it clear? Average diameter need to be calculated. You will get this total radial length here. This is total radial length, and then all this data has to be written in this itself. Then move ahead. We have another form, diameter at successive decades. Again the diameter has to be written over there. Just look at here. You have a stump height. First column stump height. This is the tree number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have a girth under bark at a stump. Then here you can have a calculated average diameter at stump, right? Average diameter is there. Then you have a successive diameter. You just look at the decades, D10, D20, D30, and I have already explained you D10 everything in the STEM analysis also, isn't it? And then we calculate the average. All these forms are visible to all of your screen, na? Is it clear to all of your screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So all these things, and see one thing while I like to make it clear. So this stump analysis and STEM analysis, what I've discussed, is work as a both practical and theory. Is it clear? So you have to understand in the both way. You have to write in the same thing in theory exam also, and you have to write the same thing in a practical paper also, right? It is have a both use. So after that, there is another form we have. Just look at here. This is another form, right? We have the seedling height data has to be written. Seedling height data. Is it clear? So here the number of rings you have to write, and there here again age has to be written over there. So these are another form has to be used there. And then after that, this is the stump analysis form again. This is a taper data you are able to collect there. Is it clear? Is just form number 5, no? Or 6 it is. एक minute. Oh, sorry, I have skip. This is the form number 5. So where the taper data has to be calculated. Is it clear? So how the data has to be there? So you just look at the table that we have already made that. So here the diameter under bark has to be clear. Then we have diameter another under bark, then another under bark, but here the diameter class has to be taken. Just look at the diameter class, right? All this diameter class has to be written over there, and accordingly we have to take this diameter under bark, and then we can get the taper data. I think you all know what is taper. What is taper? Better unmute yourself and say in mic.
So narrowing of stem towards upward.
Right. So this is the taper. So we have to collect that data also. Is it clear? And then finally we have this table. This is the stump analysis form number 6. Is a look at here, where all this information has to be summarized. So what the things has to be there? So this is decade values. As you look at the decade values, 10, 20, 30, 40, 60 has been written over there. Then it is total age. Just look at that total age formula has been written over there. Decade value plus age to reach stump height. This is total age, And then finally we have this another thing, average diameter under bark has to be written as you get in the form number 3. If you look at the form number 3, where it is form number 3, this is form number 3 na? Here you are getting average diameter, is it under bark? So this data has to be filled here again. Is it clear? And then we are writing over the diameter over bark at breast height as obtained from the taper curve. Is it okay? So these are the set of forms we should carry. Total 6 form, you have seen that total 6 form need to be carried while you are conducting this stump analysis exercise. Have you get that? Right, up to this point the thing is clear to all of you. Fine. So no question from anyone? Okay, now we'll discuss this procedure, how the procedure has to be there. So again there is 5 procedure that we need to follow. Selection of a stump, then we have this number of stumps, preliminary works has to be done there, ring counting and additional field work. So one by one we like to discuss all these procedures. So first selection of stump. So this is cross section. Have you seen that this is cross section? This part is called cross section. As the definition I have told you, cross section, stump cross section. So first is selection of stump, right? So how the things has to be done there. So obviously as you have understand in the stem analysis, you have to select only those tree which is free from any kind of abnormalities or any kind of what I'm saying, any kind of defect or decays, right? And it also should be mixed with properly with the crop. We are not supposed to select any isolated tree there. So similarly the same concept has to be used here also, that the stump that you are going to select is going to represent the entire crop, going to represent the entire crop. So obviously those things has to be followed, that crop should not be located in isolated position, as I explained to you, isn't it? So if old stumps are available, old stumps means if any tree has been felled within 2 or 3 years of the date that you are going to conduct the stem analysis. For example 2020 it is there, and today you have to conduct any kind of stem analysis. So go inside the stand or go inside the forest area and try to get if there is any tree that has been felled or not, right? If it is felled, so the felling duration should be not more than 2 to 3 years. It means if it is 20, so you have to select the tree which have felled in 2017 or 18. Is it clear? So you have to select only those stump there. First thing is that. And if as I told you, if old stump is not available, if old stump is not available, so obviously as I explained to you again, the trees that you have felled for the stem analysis, you can use the stump of that tree as a stump analysis purpose also. Is it clear? Have you get that? Have you understand the selection procedure? Again I am repeating what the things that you have select. You have to select those stump that is not in isolated condition, and that is going to represent the whole crop. Second thing is that only the age of that stump will be 2 to 3 years, not more than that, as per the date that we have intention to conduct the stump analysis. And the third important thing is that if there is no old stump is available there, right? If there is no old stump is available there, then the tree that you are already felled for the stem analysis, you can use the stump for that tree here itself. Is it clear? I hope this selection part you people are able to understand. Now go for this number of stumps. So how many numbers we require that? So the number should be 10 to 15 stump at least we required. 10 to 15 stump. Is it clear? That is required. Then you are able to um, then you are able to draw any kind of graph or something, or then you are able to fill that table also, that all these printed forms that you have seen, that we are able to at least 10 to 15 there. Is it clear? Right, so that is the number of stumps that is required, and therefore through the image I have shown you these things also. At least 10 to 15 is required. Fine. Then we are able to draw the accurate results, isn't it? Because as I told you, in the previous, some of the previous slide, we have to generalize the result, whatever the result we are gathering, and then all the graphs and every calculation we are making there. Purpose is to generalize the result, right? Otherwise there is no use of doing any kind of analysis. Then you can generalize. If you get the same space with the same site quality, we can replicate the result there itself. We can apply those result that you are getting in one side, the same result can be applied to the other side also. So that's why we need at least 10 to 15 stumps for accurate stump analysis. I hope you have understand, all of you, this part is also. Or up to this point, if any question you people have, you can ask. Fine, it is clear. Now the basic work, that what the things has to be done there. So as I told you, general information first you have to write. When you select the stump, all this field exercise, you have selected the stump, right? First job is there. Then preliminary works means first general information. General information means, as I shown in the table, location detail, name of division, where the stump exists, all the general information first you need to collect. This is the first preliminary work that has to be done. Second, what you have to done, you have to record the diameter of breast height also, and if that is not available there, so from the record book try to get the breast height of that tree. Is it clear? Fine. And third thing that you have to do is, you have to also measure the height of stump. When you have to start the work, you have to measure the height of the stump too. So what are the things that you have to do in preliminary works? First, general information, collect all this necessary general information, longitude, latitude, division, compartment, whatever the information the forest has been written over there. Then breast height of that tree. So breast height, either if tree is available there, get the breast height, and if not, so from the record, right, previous record, you can collect this data. And then you also have to record the height of stump there. Is it clear? And then after that, you have to collect the or you can say that you have to record the average radius of stump. Average radius of stump. Listen carefully and try to understand. After collecting these three basic information, now we have to collect this average radius of stump. Average radius of stump, right? So how we can calculate the average radius? So you all know the average means is a kind of arithmetic mean. Is it clear? So it's not so difficult to do that. Do one thing. There are lots of methods. Simple method, let me discuss with you how to get the average radius, right? So it can be done in a three ways, three simple ways. So listen one by one all these ways there, right? So first, how you get this average radius? So you just get this first, if you have this stump, for example, so get the longest radii, get the shortest radii. Is it clear? Right? And then get the average of this. Have you get that? Fine. Then you are able to get the average. You will get this average radius. I hope the first is clear. Fine. This is the first method or simple method. Again I am repeating, you have to take the mean of longest and shortest radii, right? The second method is, again we have a second method also to get this average radius. So it's not so difficult. Again, if you have this stump cross section, so you just take any two diameter right angle to each other. You just get any two diameter. For example, this is center. Any two diameter right angle to each other. Right angle to each other, then get the mean, right? First you draw any two diameter on this stump cross section, that should be right angle to each other. Then take the mean of half of any two diameter at right angle. Is it clear? Fine. And the third is also not difficult. Third is and the third way, you just take the exact radius. Considering a stump considering girth of a stump as a perfect circle, and then take the exact radius. Is it clear? Corresponding to the girth of the stump. Have you understand that? What the things that you have to do in a preliminary works? Again I am repeating what the things you have to do in preliminary work. So first you have to collect the general information. Second, you have to find the breast height. Third, you have to get the height of the stump, right? Height of the stump. Fourth, average diameter need to be recorded. Is it clear? And I have discussed you how the average diameter can be recorded there. So these are the preliminary works that you have to conduct, and then you have to fill all this information into the form number 1 that I have shown you. Is it clear to all of you now? Is there any question from this preliminary works? No counting of rings. Counting of rings is there, and as I told you, as I have already discussed you this in stem analysis, the same process has to be used here, right? You have to draw the radius from pith to cambium, right? Generally 2 radius, but generally it is suggesting that you can draw the 4 radius from the 4 side. Then the things becomes more easy, but 2 radius is also sufficient. And then you have to use the one pin and put the pin in after every 10 rings. After 10 rings. Is it okay? And when we are placing the pin, so you just check that whether all the pins are in the same circle or not. So that's why this 4 radius has to be used. First pin here, second pin here, fourth pin, and then you can closely look at that whether all the pin in the same circle or not. Is it okay? Right. So as I've discussed within the stem, so there should be no so much detail has to be discussed. So after that, counting of rings has to be done there. Is it okay? Okay, Shreya Sonali has one question. Sir, third number, please repeat of average radius. Average radius, what the average means? Mean value. So you just take 2 radii. Listen, Sonali, clearly listen. If we have this cross section, so just take 2 radii, one longest, and radii, you know that it should be passed from the center itself, right? And one shortest radii, and take the average value. Is it clear? I have done the diameter, but what you have to do is radius. So if you get the diameter, for example, you are taking this diameter, so diameter half, you have to half both the diameter, then get the mean value. Is it clear? For example, if you have a D1 and second diameter is D2, so average radius will be D1 by 2 plus D2 by 2, right, and then divided by 2. Have you get that? So through this way you are able to calculate the average radius. Okay, this is a simple method to do that. I hope Shreya is this clear to you. Now counting of rings, that has also been clear to I have explained in the stem analysis also, and the same concept has to be utilized here itself. That has been discussed. So before moving further, is there any question from the very first slide to this slide? We have discussed definition, we have discussed the purpose, we have discussed the procedure, we have discussed this instrument that is required, we have discussed all necessary forms that we need that, and then we have already in the discussion of procedures. So in the procedures we have discussed all these things, stump selection, then number of stumps, then we have discussed this preliminary works, then this fourth counting of rings. Up to this point, is there any question from any student? Okay, so it's clear as you. I find no question from anyone in the chat box too. So I assume that all this concept is clear to all of you. Fine. Then go for this additional field work. Additional field work, those two things that we have to be collect here. First is to reach stump height. So again you go in that section stem analysis, what I have told you, how to get that edge, right? What is the edge of this part? So obviously again you get one seedling up to the height of 1.5 meter to 2.5 meter, right? And you can cut it from the ground level itself. Then you have to make it a small section of 10 centimeter, and then count all those annual rings in that section, and you have to add up all those sections. You are able to get this edge to reach stump height. Have you get that? And I have already explained this part also there in stem analysis, so I hope this is, there should be no doubt in this section. Edge to reach stump height. Is there any question? How to measure this edge to reach stump height? Ashwin Panikar. In the stem, and as I have discussed you, again I am repeating the same thing here. Listen carefully. We have this stump, right? We are counting the rings, so it means you are able to get the edge from here. It means we are just 0 here, and then all this edge from this part we are able to know. But what were the edge of this height, right? So one simple procedure has to be done there. You have to get the seedling of same species in that particular area where you are conducting this stump analysis, and then you have to cut that, and the height of this seedling will be 1.5 meter to 2.5, not more than that. You need to have at least 1.5 should be there, right, or maximum 2.5 meter. Then you have to fill it from the ground level, almost ground level, fill it, and then you have get a small 10 centimeter section here, and then count this annual rings in each section, and you just add up, right? You are able to get this stump height. Is it clear? And obviously you have to take only this much height there, not more than that here also. Okay, so now go for now we need to collect the, how to do this, collect this taper data. So what the procedure that need to be followed to collect the taper data? So you try to understand the form that you have seen that. So whatever the data we have collecting here in taper data, we have to fill in that form number 5 that you have seen, that taper where this data has to. So how the data has to be there? So listen carefully and try to understand there. So diameter under bark also need to calculate a stump height. Is it clear? So you need to convert this diameter under bark to diameter over bark also at breast height. Listen carefully, all the steps clearly. Fine. First we need to convert the diameter under bark at a stump height to diameter over bark at breast height. Is it clear? Fine. And this how the, and how you supposed to do that for this conversion. So you need to develop the relationship between diameter under bark at stump height with the diameter over bark at breast height. Then you are able to make this conversion, right? Conversion means you have to convert this diameter under bark at stump height to diameter over bark at breast height. So before conversion you have to establish one relation. What is the relation between these two variable, diameter under bark at stump height to diameter over bark at breast height, right? So how the relation can be done? So the relation can be done by using taper data, right? If you have to establish this relation, so establish this relation, we have to generate a taper data. So how the taper data has to be collected? Listen carefully and try to understand, right? So first step that you have to do for the taper data, step number 1, right? Step number 1 is there that you need DOB, diameter over bark at breast height. You need a DOB breast height, right? Diameter over bark at breast height for at least 10 trees. For at least 10 trees. Is it clear? The first thing that you have to do, how to collect the taper data? Listen carefully and try to understand. First you need a diameter over bark breast height of 10 tree. Is it clear? Right? Then the second thing that you have to do that, right, with the help of chisel, that's instrument I've shown you, with the help of chisel, right, from the ground level, listen carefully and again understand, from the ground level, right, at the height of 15 centimeter, then height of 45 centimeter and height of 75 centimeter from the ground level, remove the bark by using chisel, right? And then you have to measure the diameter under bark at that height. This two step has been clear to all of you. Listen carefully again how to collect the taper data. The first step is there. We need to collect diameter over bark at breast height for at least 10 trees. Second thing is there, use that instrument chisel to remove the bark, right? And where what the position to remove the bark will be there? So from the ground level it should be 15 centimeter, 45 centimeter and 75 centimeter, and then you have to record the diameter under bark at that height. Is it clear? And then you have to incorporate all these data in form number 5. Is it clear? Then you are able to establish the relation between diameter under bark at stump height to the diameter over bark at breast height. I hope you all have understand that up to this point. Okay, so is there any question up to this point? Because when you are going to fill all these data in that form, then you have to make a computation, and all these aspect of computation has to be done there. So if you have any question up to this point, people can ask. Is there no question from anyone? Okay, so now move that. So after getting all those, filling all those forms by collecting all this data from the step number 1 to step number 5, now we have to compute. So we have to compute these three things: seedling edge height data curve, taper curve and diameter edge curve. So one by one let me discuss with you. So this is seedling height curve, right? Seedling height curve, look at there. So how you supposed to make this curve? So whatever the data you have collected in stump analysis, form number 4, 4. Is it clear? Form number 4. Have you remembered that what is form number 4 there? So whatever the data that has been written in the form number 4, seedling height data we have, isn't it? Okay, let me show you again the form number 4 to you. Maybe here it is form number 2, 3, 4. Isn't it? Seedling height data. Have you seen that number of rings and age has to be calculated and written in this box? Fine. So all these things has to be incorporated here, and then you have to write in using that form number 4, the data that has to be written over there. Using that form you have to draw this curve, seedling height curve. So height of seedling is here, and this is age in year. Is it clear? Have you get that? Concept is clear to you, all of you? Using all this data of form number 4, you have to draw this curve, right? And what is the purpose? Okay, the curve has been drawn, so why we are drawing this curve? So this curve is going to help you to knowing the time, listen carefully, to knowing the time and average it takes to reach at the stump height. Have you get that? Because this relation of height is seedling and there is the age. So age means it will provide you the time. Is it clear? So it will going to provide you the time to reach the some stump height. So this is the purpose of this seedling height curve, and this height curve has been drawn by using the data that has been filled in form number 4 there. You got it? And then we have another, this is taper curve. As you look at here, taper curve. So you have just seen that how the taper data has to be collected in form number 5. So we have collected this data, stump diameter under bark, and this is a relation that we need to establish in through the taper curve, diameter DBH over bark and stump diameter under bark. And you just look at that is 3, 15, 45 and 75 centimeter is there. So whatever the data that you have collected there in form number 5, using that data to draw this curve here. And the purpose for this making this curve is to establish the relation between diameter DBH over bark and stump diameter under bark. Is it clear ना? ये भी clear होगा आप लोगों को? I hope you have understood up to this point. Fine. And then after that you have to make a diameter age curve, right? Diameter age curve has to be drawn there. And how the things has to be drawn there? So again we go for this form number 3, where you have get this value of average diameter, if you remember that. And then you go for this form number 6, where all these other data has to be there. So using all those data, we have to draw this diameter age curve, right? So these are the 3 computation has to be made here, and then your analysis will be finished, right? So this all about the stump analysis is not so difficult to understand, because most of the things that I have already discussed with you in a STEM analysis part, and these are the things that we have to follow for stump analysis. So if you have any question up to this point, you can ask. Is there any question? So this all about the stump analysis. Obviously you have to make all these forms and graphs in Practify as well, obviously.